Continuing our super chats, APN Films asks for the best Tiny Whoop running 03. Thank you for a $2 super chat. In my opinion, there is no Tiny Whoop that runs the 03, and there never will be. Well, I should never say never. Tiny Whoop to me is in the 65, 75 millimeter class. I would question whether 85 millimeter is a Tiny Whoop. And those are too small. The weight of the 03 is just too much. Like, technically, you probably could build one that would fly, but it's like, I wouldn't even waste my time with it. Now, some of you will know that I have a website, fpvknowitall.com. And since it's my chat, I can spam the chat. I can spam the chat all I want. And if you go to the Tiny Whoop page on my website, you get to see what Tiny Whoops I recommend. And there's a bind and fly page, and if you scroll down, sure enough, you will find the iFlight Alpha 885. Wait a minute, I thought I said 85 millimeter isn't really a Tiny Whoop in my book. Well, the iFlight Alpha 885 is the smallest possible quad that carries a Caddx Vista video transmitter. And so we're going to technically let it slide in as a whoop, even though I don't really think it is. Crafted Quads. Oh, Crafted Quads. Is that a custom build or a bind and fly, dude? Crafted Quads has an 03. That's a naked 03, I assume, in a 75 millimeter. Aerobrat points out that IGOW is 85 millimeter is legal in IGOW, therefore 85 millimeter is a whoop. Does anybody know a bind and fly that has 03? What is the smallest platform that is a bind and fly with an 03? Abraham, the Odonata is definitely not a Tiny Whoop. Come on. Come on! Come on! What's the smallest Mobula 803? Happy Model has one? Okay. 85 millimeter, 03. Okay. Axis Flying C20. That's a 2-inch Cinewhoop. Come on. That's not. What size is that 2-inch wheelbase? Is that 95? Is that 85? What's the wheelbase of a 2-inch? So like, I think it's 85. It is 85. Is this an 85 millimeter? That's not a Tiny Whoop though. Oh, it's not a Tiny Whoop. Okay, so I would steer you towards something like the Mobula 8. Now, something like the C20 is intended as a Cinewhoop. It's designed to carry a camera. So it's bigger, heavier, and has more cargo capacity. There's also the Beta FPV Pavo Pico, which is worth a look. And these are going to be some of the smallest platforms that carry the 03 air unit. And so that's the direction I would steer you if you're thinking to yourself, I want an air unit. I want an 03 Tiny Whoop. Now, this right here is a home build that is more like legitimately a Tiny Whoop. But it's going to be pretty heavy. That's the thing. All of these guys are going to be pretty heavy, and you're going to get a lot of compromises in their handling compared to something in the, say, 95 millimeter or 3-inch size. All right, great question.